I'm going to share with you my top tips for getting juicy pork steaks enrobed in a delicious creamy mushroom sauce. Those flavours are going to work so well together. It's a real family pleaser. Hi, I'm Nikki. Welcome back to our kitchen where we show you how to make delicious, family-friendly recipes. If not cooked properly, then pork steaks have a reputation and a tendency to become tough and dry. But I believe pork steaks are a great addition to our menu, and if you follow a few key steps, you'll get some lovely, juicy, tender meat. So let's get cooking. First, let's talk about the cut of the meat. I've got 4 boneless pork shoulder steaks here, and they've got a little bit of fat running through them, but not too much. And that will ensure the steaks stay lovely and juicy whilst they're cooking. Also, shoulder steaks tend to be cut a little bit thicker than pork loin steaks. My next tip is a key one, and this is to take your pork steaks out of the fridge about an hour before you want to cook them. This will allow the steaks to come up to room temperature so they won't toughen up when you add them to the hot pan. So we're going to start by lightly browning those steaks. Add 2 tablespoons of olive oil to a large frying pan over a medium to high heat. We're going to lightly season the pork steaks with 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Place the seasoned steaks into the pan and fry for 6 to 7 minutes, turning once until browned. Once browned, remove the pork steaks from the pan and place on a plate. So we've browned those steaks, but we've not cooked them through completely, and that's okay because we're going to continue to cook them further in the sauce later. So let's get started on that sauce. We're going to add another tablespoon of olive oil to the pan. Add in a sliced onion, 6 sliced mushrooms and 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and pepper. Fry for 5 minutes, stirring often until the onions have softened. Once the onions have softened, add in 3 minced cloves of garlic. Fry for a further minute while stirring. After a minute, sprinkle 2 tablespoons of plain all-purpose flour over the onions and mushrooms and stir together to coat. Now pour in 360 ml or 1½ cups of chicken stock while stirring. Add in 1/2 tablespoon each of tomato puree and white wine vinegar and 60 ml or 1/4 cup of double or heavy cream while stirring. Just look at that sauce, it's going to be so delicious. Now we're going to add the pork steaks plus any juices on the plate back into the pan and let those steaks finish cooking in the sauce. So add the pork steaks back in and simmer for 5 to 10 minutes to thicken the sauce until the pork steaks are cooked through. And serve topped with a sprinkling of fresh parsley. That meat is going to be so tender and delicious, and those flavours work so well together. I know we're going to love it, even if Chris does end up picking out every single mushroom. I do love pork, it's such a versatile meat, and if you want to see more pork recipes, then I've set up a playlist for you here, starting with my creamy pork and apple casserole. You've got to try it. See you next time.